What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a closer look of the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 26331. We're going to be talking a little bit about the watch, the market value, what we really think about it, and give you our thoughts. Tag along. All right, so Alex, what do we have here today?
We have a beautiful version of the Royal Oak in steel. It is equipped with a chronograph and a beautiful blue dial. The stainless steel Royal Oak chronograph is, as many other stainless steel watches with blue dials, one of the most popular watches on the market currently. And the Royal Oak we have here today was introduced back in 2017. And it features a 41mm stainless steel case with the iconic Royal Oak octagonal bezel with the screws, the integrated bracelet that is immaculate. Immaculate. It's the best bracelet on the market in my opinion. I think you agree with me.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, overall a really good looking watch and simply stunning.
Simply stunning. Well chosen words, I have to say. So, Alex, let's have a closer look here. AP Royal Oak is extremely recognizable by the bracelet alone.
By the bracelet and the shape of the case and the bezel, it's a true icon.
Exactly. So, what do we like about this watch?
We like the bracelet. Let's start there because I think the bracelet is one of the most important features of the Royal Oak as a watch model.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the bracelet, if you look at it, I think this is by far for me one of the best bracelets. This is on a next level craftsmanship. The details that you see, the brushing, how everything is executed here is absolutely mesmerizing.
Yeah.
And I remember a while back when AP released a video of how they actually do the bracelet. You seen that?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really fascinating video, and then you understand that most of the value of the watch maybe isn't in the movement or so, but in the case execution and the design and how they craft it from scratch.
Yeah.
And all the different steps that the case and bracelets gone through in order to make it look as good as it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the whole design language of the Royal Oak from its inception in 1972, I mean, when it was introduced back then, it was the talking point in the watch world.
Yeah, exactly.
It was an oversized watch, very expensive in steel. It
was a steel watch that was priced at a luxury level, and at that time, that was unheard of. How can you price a steel watch as much as a gold watch or even above a gold watch? So that was the talking point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now 50 years later, I mean, I don't think anybody has an issue with paying so much money for a stainless steel watch anymore.
Yeah, no. The stainless steel is the new gold, as they say. So absolutely beautiful. This is obviously the 41mm that is currently in production.
Yes.
The predecessor to this one was slightly smaller, right?
Yeah, it was sized at 39mm as the standard Royal Oaks has been since 1972.
Yeah.
And they upgraded or downgraded, depending how you look at it, the size from 39 to 41mm back in 2012.
Yeah. How do you like the upping of the millimeters?
For me, it's a downgrade.
For you, it's a downgrade.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it comes to wearability, and with our wrists that are sized at 16.5 centimeters, it's quite a chunky piece to pull off.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point.
But for us, luckily nowadays, they have introduced the 38mm chronograph, which is a much more
suitable size.
suitable size for us, and that was a good move by AP, I think, that they introduced a chronograph that is a very popular model in a smaller case size.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think the 38 is a little bit of a miss. For me, at least.
Okay, how come?
I think it's a little bit too small. I've seen it, I've tried it on. I think the dimensions isn't really...
No, the proportions are a bit off.
The proportions, sorry. That's what I mean.
The proportions are a bit off since it's quite thick compared to the lug-to-lug length. So it makes it a bit chubby on the wrist.
Yep.
That's why, I mean, there was a reason why they designed the Royal Oak for 39
exactly
in the first place.
Yeah.
It was for the ultra thin, feeling on the wrist and the proportions of the bracelet and the case and everything, and how well it all blends together.
Yeah.
So that's also what I believe is a miss from AP with the 41mm option, that it gets a bit off in the proportions on the other end, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And also they did one major change from the older model to the new model, and they changed up the subdials of the chronograph. So the current one have two bigger subdials at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Yeah, for the minutes and hour counters.
Exactly. And then you have the seconds subdial at 6 o'clock where it's supposed to be, but the seconds subdial have basically shrunk, and you have the size that they removed from the 6 o'clock added to the 3 and 9 o'clock. So the 3 and 9 o'clock is actually a tad larger than the older model that had the same chronograph, basically.
Yeah.
So at first, I actually really hated that move, because one of my first loves in the watch business was the Royal Oak, and the Royal Oak's symmetry of the chronograph. I really love that.
Yeah.
So when they did this change, I was kind of put off from the chronograph from AP. But with time heals. If I look at it right now, I mean, it's stunning.
We've spent some time with it. Thank you, our dear friend, for lending us the watch. And when you have it on the wrist, you don't really think so much about that. This subdial for the seconds is smaller. So, I mean, on pictures and when you see it on Instagram and whatever, you can analyze it much more.
Exactly.
But when you wear it and use it, you don't really think about it that much, in my opinion, and yours as well.
Absolutely.
And another change on the dial layout from the older 41mm model was that they changed the position of the date window. So before this model was introduced, they had the date window centered between 4 and 5 o'clock. However, now we have a date window that is slightly more towards 5 o'clock. And that was also one of the big talking points when they introduced this watch in 2017, that how could they not have a centered date window?
Yeah, exactly.
But
but I mean, you're digging into fine details.
Yeah, of course.
Very fine details.
That's what we do as watch nerds.
Exactly. And talking about fine details, also the pushers.
Yes.
So the pushers, if you look at them like this, you think they are screw down. They are actually not.
Yeah, I had a tough time trying to unscrew the pushers to get the chronograph running. But yeah, they are not screw down pushers.
Exactly. So they're designed this way, but they are not screwed down. You can just simply push them normally, and they were perfectly fine.
And the click.
And
you got to love the click when you start the chronograph. I mean, it's so crisp.
When you want to know how long 4 minutes or 6 minutes are for your egg boiling, make sure to use your chronograph. Let's talk about something completely different, and that's the backside of the watch.
Backside, the closed back.
The closed back. That is actually quite a bummer for the chronograph. I would love to see the movement, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, they have a really nice finished movement inside.
Yeah.
But apparently it's not an in-house movement.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons they have made it a solid case back, which is, as you say, quite a bummer because, I mean, who doesn't love to admire a beautifully finished chronograph movement?
I mean, you would love to take off your watch from time to time and just turn it around, just have a quick look.
Yeah. But for me, it's not a deal breaker. I mean, I don't know
No.
how you feel.
Obviously, it's not a deal breaker, but I know that people that own this watch would really appreciate it. And I understand from a piece perspective that, all right, it's not a completely in-house movement, so we don't really want to show it off, so to say. But I still think you should actually show it. But yeah, I mean, this watch offers so much more, so I guess you can't really say it's a deal breaker in any way, but it would be a very nice bonus.
I mean, I mainly buy watches because of the looks and not so much because of the movement.
Yeah.
Of course, I appreciate a beautifully finished movement, manual or automatic, but I mean, I don't mind quartz watches either, so
Yeah.
for me, it's okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. So Alex, tell me, do you think this is the best Royal Oak in production?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, for me, the Royal Oak is the jumbo. And I mean, even though it's a beautiful
The
version,
jumbo, you mean
the
15202?
15202, or even better for me, the 5402, the original jumbo, since I'm a bit more into vintage than you are maybe. But I mean, even though it's really beautiful, I still think that the 15202 jumbo is the best Royal Oak in production.
Who's number 2 on your list?
The 15202 IP. No, the 15202 IP is probably my number 1. And
Yeah.
it's the one in titanium with
And
platinum bezel and centerlinks.
Yeah, that one is gorgeous.
Yeah,
That one
it's
is
crazy. I mean, they
yeah.
have some really beautiful versions of the 15202. That's not the stainless steel one, but
Yeah, the salmon.
the salmon. Yeah, not too big of a fan of the salmon though, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful watch, but not my favorite.
Not your cup of tea.
It's my cup of tea in the smaller size.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, yeah, I agree with you on the size preference. I was actually super excited for the 38 millimeter because I would really love to have a chronograph. I love chronographs, and I would really love to have a chronograph from AP. So I had a close look at the 38 millimeter, and I thought, all right, this is the grail. I found it. I'm gonna get it, and then I tried it on. I have small wrist, so it fit the case and so on fit good on my wrist, but we just mentioned it earlier in this video that the dimensions wasn't really to that standard that I like it to be. So yeah, I guess my favorite Royal Oak would be also the 15202.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit boring choice, but that is actually the perfect size for wrist sizes like ours. So 39 millimeter, if they did a chronograph in 39 and a half, that would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
All right, so let's talk a bit more about prices, since that's one of the biggest talking points nowadays.
Yeah.
We have just had an increase of the retail price for this model, and it's now
AP raised their prices across the board recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. The retail price now is 29,100 euros.
29,100 euros.
Yes.
All right.
So that's approximately 33,000 US dollars ish.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty expensive though.
yeah, it's quite a lot of money for a
Yeah.
stainless steel chronograph.
And I think the timing with the price increase was pretty terrible, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in the middle of the
In the,
pandemic.
but I think this one, when it was priced around 25,000 euros, it was a much more achievable price point.
Yeah.
Although we looked also in the secondary market, this one is actually trading slightly below retail price, around retail,
yeah.
which is pretty good for a watch like this. And I think, I mean, this is obviously gonna be one of AP's icons if you look back at it in 20-30 years. So the price point is what it is.
It is what it is, and obviously they sell watches because, I mean, you can't really just walk into a AP boutique and pick one up like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are controlling the supply basically of these popular watches with the blue dial and in the stainless steel cases. So yeah, at the price point, I mean, I don't think it's going to go so much either way.
Yeah.
If nothing dramatic happens. So yeah, around 30,000 euros.
Absolutely. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a comment and let us know which AP is your favorite. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you,
See you guys next time.